shines. It was just one of those nights. It is about probably going on 8 p.m. It's just one of those nights, and I hope you all are doing well. One of those nights I just wanted to get out and get things done. I'm a sweaty mess. Look at my shirt. But I have no mic or anything because I have those moments, as you all know, where I will just do mass planting, where I just want to get everything planted out. And it was one of those nights. I think I left only one plant over there, which is a geranium that I picked up because when I planted up those planter boxes, I only had 2 geraniums, and my plan is in the fall when I pull those out to plant them up together. So I want to have 3, so I picked that up. So, and then I think I have 2 plants that are in the hospital. Anyways, I just wanted to get all those plants in the ground, and I did, and I'm excited, and I'm hot and sweaty, but not as hot as I would have been if I would have tried to do this earlier in the day. And so before I run out of light, although it looks really bright, the sun is just over there heading its way, you know, down. So that's why it probably looks bright. And I'm over here by my roses again, and oh my gosh, they are being, I have to look this up. There are so many. Anyways, that's not why we're here. So let's walk around. I'll show you what I did. Well, the first thing I did was all of those plants just about were clearance plants. I cleaned them up. I cleaned up the clearance plant. The blanket flowers and the coreopsis were definitely clearance plants. And then I'll tell you the other ones when we go around. But you all saw me clean up the coreopsis. You saw me clean up the blanket flower. And then you saw me take out of these green pots. These were the green pots that I actually put on my patio as a part of my patio makeup and my patio makeover, and those plants were just ready to come out of those pots. And even when I took them out, they were so dry. And as I was cleaning the plants up and taking them out the pots, what I did was I filled up my wagon and I had water in it, and so I would put them in there. So as I'm planting all the plants in the garden, they were soaking, so they got a good watering by me doing it because they were just soaking up that water, so I don't have to go water anything in. Okay, and so let's just take a walk around and see what we've accomplished today and talk about the plants just a little bit. But yeah. So we ended at the chicken run, but I thought it would be easier to talk about the plants in order as I planted them up. So I'm back at the Hillside garden. And so what did we do at the Hillside garden? Over here, I planted up the primrose. These are the plants that were inside the pot. It was 3 of them. They bloomed those really pretty pink flowers. So they bloom really pink, they bloom really pretty pink flowers, and they was blooming so good. The tag says that they bloom in the summer and the winter, so I don't know if they're going to do a second cycle, but they were turning yellow and things like that, so I thought it would be best to get them in the ground. So those are the primrose. There's 3 of them there. The other thing we planted over here was, I didn't clean these up, but these are geraniums. I left the tag over there, but I think these bloom, they bloom pink too, but they are a different type of geranium. Let me grab the tag. So this is what that geranium is. It is called Vision Violet Geranium. Vision Violet Geranium. Okay, let's go back over. Okay, so sometimes when you buy these containers, especially like Lowe's brand, they don't have the tag to put with the actual plant a lot of times. So that was the case in a lot of these. Anyways, so that's what these are, geraniums, and they do get like a foot tall, but I wanted to break up the purple. We had a lot of purple here, and then over here was a lot of purple, and so I wanted to put something to break it up. And then right here I moved salvia. I cut back, that didn't come back. I don't know if it died, but I was tired of looking at it, and I moved that over here just in case it comes back. and I did stick in cat's pajamas. Although I did propagate some of that, I just saw this one and it looked so good on the clearance rack, so I purchased it. So I tuck that there. So once again, we have purple and we have whites too. This is a white salvia. Okay, the next thing we did was, we didn't plant anything in the wall garden. I didn't find anything that I wanted to put here right now. But what we did was, we did put some stuff finally, because I felt like I was neglecting this spot. But I'm trying to take my time a little and find things to go over here. Because this right here, guys, is not a pathway. I'm supposed to be walking in front of the rocks. So I need I'm thinking about some things to put in this front walkway. Anyways, these right here are aster. They were in the container that was in front of my house. And so, not in front of my house, but on my patio. And so if you saw that, I divided this in order to make 3 because I only had 2 of those. So I divided them. And so now there's 3 and they bloom pink. And so, yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more blooms out of them again, but I'm okay because it still has like this grassy texture. Then back here, you saw me split those blanket flowers. That's not the same blanket flowers that I showed you in the other video. I already planted those. I actually planted those off camera. And so I put those on a hillside garden. But this was another container that I picked up on clearance. And when you have these containers, just know most of these containers have multiple plants in them. And so it had 4 plants. So I planted 3 here. 1, 2, 3. And they should bounce back and be fine. Okay, so we planted those there. And then we walked over here. And I had this sitting here already for a little while. We planted this. This is a stilby that I planted here. And these blooms are huge, but I can cut them all back and they will be just fine. So that's what we planted there. And then we went over to the chicken run. So this blooms a beautiful pink, and I'm going to eventually cut all of this back. I do have some new foliage showing up there, and so I'll eventually cut it all back. But the blooms look good even when they're not, in color. So I just left them. Okay, let's go. So we did that, and then over here in the chicken coop run is where I stuck that last blanket flower, and I stuck that right here. And then I discovered these hollyhocks. Oh my gosh, that is going to be beautiful. But anyways, we're not here for that. I stuck the bloom flower there, and then you saw me take that coreopsis and split it into 3 plants, but I didn't want them to be together. That was in a container. That was 1 plant all by itself. It was huge, as you all can see. So I split it. I know they look terrible, but I know they're going to bounce back and be all right. I could just cut them all the way back to the ground, but I just want to wait because I already did enough to them. So I put 1 here, and then I walked down and I put 1 here, and look at that pretty bloom on that. And then look at this hollyhock. Oh my gosh. And then I walked and I was looking for a spot, and so I tucked. I had to remember that these gazinias are temporary, and there was nothing going to be here once they're gone. So I went ahead and I tucked another coreopsis right there, and they're super pretty, and I can get the name of them when I go over to the other side. But because I was putting that coreopsis there, I needed to move a gazania, and that's what you saw me walk over here and do. I walked over here and put the gazania right there because there's nothing on that corner. So we'll see what happens, and then I was agitated because I saw all the bugs in the roses again. I'm gonna have to look it up. I wonder if I could use neem oil. I don't know, but everything's looking good, guys. And so, yeah, I just need to get it done. So guys, I am going to end the night right here where I typically end the night, right here in my rocker. overlooking the garden. And so I'll show you that view in a minute, but until next time, don't forget to like, don't forget to leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. If you've done all three of those things, thank you. If you haven't, please consider. But until next time, blessings. Bye.